Well, you guys, it's that time of year again, our holiday series for 2011. This year, we've got more great recipes, and remember to stay tuned for future videos because I'm gonna take you on a simple but tasty culinary ride. First up, my spiced rum and peach glazed ham with candied yams. So let's get started. So we're gonna start on our spiced rum and peach glazed ham. Now, let's do the glaze first. Now, the title tells you what's in it, right? Spiced rum. Good ingredient, and to start it off, we're gonna need a cup of it. So, that's spiced rum, going down with a cup. Now, I don't want you guys to worry. For those of you who don't cook with alcohol, I also have a recipe for you, and that is a beautiful pomegranate glaze, which I'm gonna show you in a few minutes. Just to slide across that ham, okay? Now, as you can see, I'm starting off with my saucepan over here in front of me. So I'm gonna pour that in. And then I'm gonna add some brown sugar. So now we're gonna grab our peach preserves. Okay, just put that in there. And don't worry, I'm gonna give you all the links to the recipes right in the description box. Right there. Now we're gonna go down with a little bit of molasses. Not too much because molasses is a component in spiced rum already. So you already have sort of those flavors coming on. We're just gonna add a little bit. Okay, pull that color. And then a pinch of allspice. All right. Just give that a little bit of a stir. And now I'm gonna go over to the stove with it. Put it on the stove, then ignite. Don't ignite before you go over there because alcohol ignites and it can light up. If you're not ready for that and you're not ready to redecorate, don't do it, okay? So let's go over to our stove. All right, so let's turn on our heat. You want it over about a medium-high heat. And what we're gonna do is let it reduce down by about half. Okay, so we're just gonna let that cook up. And what I'm gonna do is move back over here. And then we're gonna get going on our candied yams. So let's go on with our candied yams, starting with our fresh yams. Now, I did all these yams ahead of time, but I did wanna show you what they look like when you get them. And these are the jumbo yams. And all you need to do is just take a nice vegetable peeler, and I wash these up, and then just peel them this way. It's much easier. You know, you're not risking cutting yourself. Just take it off like that. It's a little messy. Had to do a little cleanup after. Okay. And we're gonna go with 3.5 pounds today for this recipe. Okay, now let me show you how to cut this yam because yams are kind of tough. Of course, they're a potato. And if you're not careful, you can hurt yourself. So what I want you to do is seek out flat surfaces. First, you're gonna cut the yam in half, okay? Stand it on its edge, so now you have flat surfaces to work with. Cut it in half, half again. Now, flat surface again. We want 1 inch to about 1 1/4 inch in diameter. We want some nice cubes. So I'm just gonna cut this here. There we go, like that. Again. All right, now to these yams, we're gonna add some melted butter. Okay, and that's a stick. It's the holidays, right? You need some butter in there. I'm going to add some white sugar. Just pour it on. There's not a lot of drama to these, and that's one of the reasons why I like the recipe the way I put it together. It's not gonna have a whole lot of dishes. Then we have some light brown sugar. Okay. Now let's go for our honey. think I'm gonna need to coax this out a little bit. And I put the honey in here because I need it to help with the thickening. Okay, so it's just a couple of tablespoons. Now let's go with our vanilla. Right? About a teaspoon of vanilla, and this is a half teaspoon, so I'm gonna go twice. Right? Now we're gonna grate some fresh nutmeg, and it's about an eighth of a teaspoon. Okay, now the last ingredient that I'm going to put in here is about a half a teaspoon of orange zest. Okay, so I'm just going to take my zester and take off some of the zest off this orange. Remember, not too much orange because this zest is strong, has a lot of flavor. And just scrape this in here like that. You don't want it to take over your yams. You still want the true flavor of your yams, and your sweet potatoes are going to be so good. Yams are part of the sweet potato family. You guys know that, right? Just give them a quick toss. Yams, like most vegetables, have water in them. Now what you're going to do at this point is we're going to cover this. We're going to level this out, and we're going to cover this, cook this covered for 40 minutes. And what we're doing is we're calling the water out of these yams. Okay, cover it with some foil. We're going to go in the oven for 40 minutes. Right, here we go. What I'm going to do is take this ham out while I'm here. And we are going to glaze it with the spiced rum and peach glaze that I already have ready. And after it reduces, it's going to get really thick, just like this. So let's talk about heating our ham. What you're going to do is you're going to reheat the ham covered, and you're going to go about 12 to 15 minutes per pound. So this ham is about 10, 11 pounds. So what I did was heat it covered. And then what I'm going to do is just baste it with this glaze. Okay. Now if you want to, as you can see, the peaches in the preserves that we used are kind of chunky, so they're going to be sitting on top of your ham. If you want to, you can give this a quick run, the glaze through a quick run of the food processor, and you can have a really smooth glaze if you want. But I like to see those little specks of peaches and everything going through here. Just keep on going and get that glaze in between these slices. You guys with me?
That's right.
I'm telling you, this is like a tropical, spicy, sweet. These flavors together are just great. While we're glazing our ham, you're gonna go ahead and hike your oven up to 425 degrees. It's getting your oven nice and hot. Now, finish glazing. We're going to go back in for about 10 minutes or so and let that glaze just stick to this ham. Here we go. Uncovered, by the way. Right? Okay. Now while we're in here, we're just going to get our yams. They've been in here about 40 to 50 minutes. They should be just tender and nice and watery. Okay. There we go. That's exactly how we want them to look. Now, what I need is a heaping tablespoon. Almost dropped that. That's heavy. Need a heaping tablespoon. Okay. of flour in a bowl. What we're going to do is thicken up this glaze now. Take some of this sauce that's in here and put it in here. What you're doing with this, what you're making is called a slurry. And I'm just going to take some of this juice just to cover the flour. And I'm going to mix it until the flour is well incorporated and get most of the lumps out. Okay. All right. Now, pour your slurry back into your yams. And you can already see them trying to candy on the edges. They're just perfect for the perfect bite when you bite down into them. Stir it up. And we're going to go back into the oven, uncovered, for about 20 to 25 minutes. So they get all thick and syrupy and delicious. All right, that's perfect. Let's go back into the oven. Open up the store. Okay. Okay, now I did promise you just really quick, I wanted to show you this pomegranate glaze. For those of you who don't want to cook with the spice rum, this is a beautiful pomegranate glaze that I made. Okay, and I'm going to put the recipe for you right in the description box. So you can click on that and you can glaze your ham with this glaze. And it's nice and sweet and got that little tart bite. I'm telling you, really good. And there we have it. Our beautiful spiced rum and peach glazed ham and our beautiful candy yams. Make sure you go to gdseasoning.com for these recipes, and I'm also going to provide the links for you right in the description box, and follow us on Facebook and Twitter. I'll see you guys next time.